Hello. In this video, I want to answer a question that I get semi-frequently, and that is, what should I do when I'm sick? Should I keep on training? Should I train less? Should I do lighter workouts? Should I not train at all? How should I eat? Et cetera, et cetera. So let's talk about it. All right, so the first point is, don't wait until you're fully sick. I mean, I'm speaking from experience here. I made all these mistakes where you kind of, you're not feeling quite right when you wake up in the morning, and maybe your throat is kind of bothering you, and you just don't, you know that you're getting sick. Like, you're not full sick yet, but you're not feeling right. And then you go and you train hard, and then by the night, you feel like shit. I've done that many times. I don't get sick often, fortunately, maybe once or twice a year, and it's usually pretty mild, lasts a couple days, some kind of mild coldish type of thing. So if I'm waking up and I'm not feeling right, I just take the day off and see, how am I feeling by the night? Am I going to get sick? Or because, sometimes you're not sure, or sometimes you just are in that limbo where you wake up and you're feeling a bit off, but then by the end of the night, you're feeling fine and you don't get sick. And then sometimes it just hits you. So my advice is, if you are feeling kind of off, just skip the gym that day, give your body a break, because intense exercise, while exercising regularly boosts immune function, of course, and there's quite a bit of research out there on that, intense exercise in an acute sense can depress immune function. So you can actually increase the likelihood of getting sick, not only by obviously intense exercise puts a lot of stress in the body, but then it also depresses immune function in an acute sense. So that's why you just want to take it easy, which kind of brings me to the next point, which is, when you are sick, you just want to give your body a break. I've seen, I believe it was one study, maybe two, that showed that light exercise can actually increase immune function, meaning walking. And if you want a bonus, go walk outside in nature, because there's research that shows that this can help further reduce cortisol levels, which again, you don't want to stress your body. You want your body to deal with fighting off the bacteria or the virus, as opposed to having to deal with a bunch of other stressors as well. You can do some exercise. What I do is I just go out for a walk outside. That's the most intense exercise I'll do, is maybe a 30-minute walk outside when I'm sick, and I find that it helps, and there's research to support that as well. So it's a good thing to do. Sleep more than usual. This is something that you're probably going to be feeling a bit tired. Your body's trying to tell you it needs more sleep. So listen to it. Go to bed early. Which again, I don't like sleeping. If I could just not ever sleep again, I would pay a lot of money for that. Hopefully science figures it out at some point in my lifetime. So I've made that mistake of staying up, and I work late and blah, 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 and then not going to bed, say, I'm going to go to bed an hour early, and then not. So just make a point, go to bed early, give your body more sleep. It's going to help. If you're cutting, I would recommend that you don't be in a calorie deficit for, while you're sick, because it just puts more stress in the body. So just raise your calories up to a maintenance level, and don't be afraid. You don't have to reverse diet or anything like that. We're talking about a week. We're talking about 5 days. Just don't go crazy on food. Just increase your caloric intake so you're not in a deficit anymore. And you can stick to the same type of macros. It can be high protein. I'll talk about carbs in a second, because it's not that carbs are bad, but sugar in particular, I wouldn't recommend while you're sick. And, moderate fat or whatever. But just increase your calories. Don't be in a deficit. It's going to help you recover faster. And now, talking about sugar, the reason why I don't eat sugar when I'm sick, I don't eat that much sugar. I'm not afraid of it, because I'm not concerned about sugar intake in general. You'd have to be really egregious with it for it to be a problem. But there's research that shows that white blood cell activity is suppressed when you eat sugar. So this is, if you were just to have a little bit of sugar one time a day, I guess it wouldn't be a big deal. But if people's diets are relatively high in sugar in general, and they're eating sugar every few hours, that's a problem. It's going to prolong the sickness. So just cut out sugar completely when you're sick, and you probably will recover faster. It's also a good idea to just do things that help you relax. That's a good idea to do in general. You should have a routine. I highly recommend, especially at the end of the day, that you have some sort of routine that helps you relax. Things that have a bit of scientific research behind them, and just people commonly like, are using essential oils like lavender, bergamot, chamomile, geranium. Those are all good. Getting massage, listening to classical music, drinking green tea, reading off a list. I wrote an article on this, so I have a list of things. Going for a walk outside, which I said previously. obviously taking a hot bath, and there's also a bit of how you perceive stress. If you tell yourself that you're always stressed out, you're going to feel more stressed out. If you work yourself up over little things, then you can increase stress. So you can also change your perception to stress and how you relate to things that are happening to you, and kind of choose to get stressed out about them or not. But doing things that help your body relax and just lower cortisol levels is going to help just reduce stress on your body and let it fight the sickness better. And last is supplements. There are a few supplements that I recommend. I'll link an article down below if you want to look at the research behind these supplements. I want to keep this video short, so I'm not going to go into each supplement and why I recommend it in these amounts, but in the article I do explain it. So vitamin C, 1 gram per day is a good, it's not even bad actually to have in general, because it can just boost immune function, but definitely when you're sick. I personally actually do about 1 gram every hour and a half, because if you take 10,000, if you say you took, I was gonna say 10,000 milligrams, but you took 10 grams in one go, your body can't use all that. But if you break it up and, your body can only absorb vitamin C so quickly, about an hour and a half, 1 gram every hour and a half, your body will be able to absorb and use. I don't know if I've just done that I've done that for years when I get sick. And I don't remember where I picked that up. I don't know if it was something that I read somewhere in scientific research or just heard from someone and just tried it. But it definitely helps. It helps me, and whether that's a placebo effect or not, I don't know. But I noticed that even if I start feeling something like, if I wake up and my throat's kind of bothering me and I'm feeling kind of off, I will start that. I'll take 1 gram of vitamin C every hour and a half. And I've done it and not done it. And when I do it, it seems like, just looking back at my experiences, that it either if I do get sick, it's not as intense, or I just don't get sick at all. So minimally 1 gram of vitamin C a day when you're sick. Fish oil, which you should be taking in general, but it can boost the immune system. 2 to 4 grams of EPA DHA per day. Fish oil is an easy way to get there. In terms of how many pills you'll need to take of a fish oil product, that really depends on the product. So you have to see, how much EPA, DHA is in each pill and adjust accordingly. Vitamin D, again, same thing, very important. It's highly unlikely that you're getting enough vitamin D through sun exposure and diet alone. You should be supplementing with it. Anywhere from 2 to 5,000 IUs a day is generally what is needed by most people. 2,000 is kind of a baseline. My body genetically needs more vitamin D, so I take 5,000 IUs. I actually take 7,000 IUs, because there's 2,000 IUs in the multivitamin that I take, which is my own Triumph multivitamin, and then I take 5,000 on top of that, because 2,000 IUs is a good baseline. But if you look into the work of Dr. Michael Holick, who's it's really because of him that we know so much about vitamin D now, and that vitamin D has been elevated beyond just a bone vitamin, which we once thought, and now we know that it's a hormone, and every cell in the body has receptors for vitamin D. It's very, very important that you're not deficient. So even Dr. Holick, what would be considered, if you go to get tested at your doctor for your D3 levels in your blood, what would come back sufficient, he would say you could benefit from more. So I take a bit more. I take 7,000 IUs a day, and that's vitamin D. But I'd say, you don't have to take 7,000. 2,000 is a good baseline. Echinacea, 3 grams per day. And again, you can read about echinacea online. And then if you want to check out why I'm recommending this, go to the article that I'm linking in the description below. Zinc, 30 milligrams per day. Aged garlic extract, 1 gram per day. Panax ginseng, 2 grams per day, and probiotics, 1 serving per day. So that's I'd say a sickness stack. And all of those supplements have scientific research to show that they can boost the immune system, which is really just what we want. We want our immune system to be working as efficiently and effectively as possible, and those supplements can help. And last tip here is, don't go back to the gym until you're fully better. And I've made this mistake so many times too, where the first day that I feel okay, I feel like shit, I'm not in the gym, I'm just doing what I talked about. The first day that I feel like, I'm at least not sick. I'm not like, sick. I don't feel fully back to normal. I still have stuff or whatever. And I'll just go in the gym and do a hard workout and just do my normal thing. And then the next day be sick again and have to go through a few more days. So now what I do is, the first day, I never go back to the gym and do anything hard when the first day that I'm feeling better. I'll always give it a couple more days. So I'll just continue my routine that first day that I'm feeling better, continue it again the next day, and then probably the day after that, get back in the gym and get going. And if you find that you've lost any strength or anything like that, who cares? Just do what you can do, work in your rep ranges, get rolling again within a week or two, be back to where you were at. And don't worry about, losing muscle, any muscle that you might have lost, which would be none. I mean, it takes about 3 weeks, let's say 3 to 4 weeks of not working out at all before you're going to start losing muscle, unless you're eating way too little protein, which you shouldn't be. There's no reason, unless you're so sick you can't eat much of anything. But even if you are not eating much protein, not eating much food, and you are losing muscle while you're sick, don't worry. Muscle memory is a real thing. I'll link an article down below. You can read about it. You will gain back anything that you lose in 2 weeks. You will gain back very quickly. So just don't stress out about it, and just focus on getting better, getting back in the gym, and getting rolling again, and you'll be good. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope this helps, and I will see you soon for the next podcast.